Oh boy. No! Dagnabbit! No! Dagnabbit! Oh, dagnabbit! Get away! Get away! Get away! Oh, I don't like him. I don't like him. Ah! Ah! Going to town! Going to town! What's just one down there? I don't know. Everybody get away! Everybody get away! Are you going away? They seem to be going away on their own. Oh, what happened to you? I better not knowing. Okay. Are you going away? Are you going away? Okay, he seems to be going away. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Everything's still gooey. Stop making gooey sounds! They're making the gooeys. They're making the gooey sounds. Alright, I'm going back to the shop. Because I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get rid of. Everything sounds gooey in there, and I don't like it. Shop.
UGC printing at your service.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. You know what? Let's get rid of some of these bullets. And that's all I can do. Dang it! When am I? I don't want to sell a health injector. That seems crazy and stupid to me. I thought I had more. I thought I had more stuff that I could sell. But it's, but it was bullets. This whole time it was bullets. I hate that. I hate that when I'm so, concerned and conservative with my ammo and other specialty items that I hold on to it to the point where I actually have more than I need, and I actually have to sell something that I have been desperately trying to preserve and hold on to. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. There's zits and pimples all over the place, and I'm not a fan. How are you doing? Sir, what happened to you? Well, that happened to you.
Got the lockdown code.
Shoot. I didn't have to double back all the way back here, the long way. I could have just continued. Dang it.
Elias, you copy? I'm lifting the lockdown.
Nice work, bruv. Pulling inside the station now.
Only problem is I can't reach it. The walkway collapsed.
The utility room across the way has access to the level below. See if you can reach the catwalk from there. And hurry, the storm's getting worse.
Okay. Alright, once again, I'm gonna have to sell something. To make room, let's sell these shots. I really... There was like a big schematic or something. Or... I mean, there was something. There was something in that small little office. In the gooey ooey room. I don't know if it's actually something that's good, decent, or anything like that, but... It was bigger than a bread box. It was bigger than the most items, so... I can hear them! Oh, it's gooey. Oh, it's gooey. Everything's gooey. And it won't let me run. Okay, there was... It's this. What is... No, it's a... Really? It's the battery? Grab more of these. Alright, fine. Come on. Run. Run. And... Is it following me? Are they following me? Shortcut. Unless, of course, coming through here a second time makes something jump out at me and try to eat my face. Are one of you big pimple sacks gonna try to eat my face? These are very real possibilities. No, I'm okay. Alright. How many credits do I have? 300? Not enough. Okay, for much of anything. Okay. Ah! I see you! And there's another one! No, shucks. Okay. Giant robot! Giant robot man! Where are you? Giant robot man. But you come here, and you are gonna go... Woohoo! It's one. So I got that. And then... Mr. Robot? Mr. Robot, there are monster things all over the place. Do you want to maybe do something about that? And nah! Ha 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 ha! Mr. Robot! There he is! Get him! Mr. Robot, I know you were doing security sweeps. Get... Mr. Robot! Mr. Robot! He's coming at me, Mr. Robot! Mr. Robot? Mr. Robot. Where are you? Mr. Robot. Seriously, I'm having an issue here, Mr. Robot. Eh! Stomping! 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 Yeah, just checking, just checking. I can... They're everywhere. They're everywhere. I know they're everywhere. I can hear them everywhere. There's one! Wait, no, there's one! There's one! Yeah. I told you, I said I saw one, and there it was. Not cool! Not cool! Eat small canister! That didn't seem to work. Yeah, I know. I saw you. You were the one I was actually referring to earlier. Dang it. Alright, we're checking out the new gun. Wow, it takes a while to switch. Yeah. What? Where? How? Oh, and it goes back into the trees to jump out at me. That's swell. Okay, am I actually gonna be able to see that? What happened to the robot? Oh, shucks. Where? Okay, there. Okay, cool. Bah, bah, bah. Yeah, come here, you little scallion. All right. I don't like it. Running. What? Oh, come on! I was running. Why'd you stop? Ah! Would you come back here and take the hit like a man? You used to be a man. 1-7. Are one of you the head guys? No. Okay. Oh, dang. Can't go that way. Oh, no. What? Who? What? Where? Come back here. What are you? Stop it. Stop it. Ooh, gooey. Wait, IG might have items! And I'm never gonna get those items. Come on, run. Oh, dang it. Who did that? Oh, shucks. Okay, so I can't... Yeah, I know you're in that tree. There you are. Eh! Wait, come back here. No. Eh! In your butt! Come on! There's more than one. Of course, there's more than one. Alright, am I in a position to... Nope! How many are you? Oh, shucks. Listen, guys. Seriously. Okay, are you gonna stay over there, or are you gonna... No, he's gonna jump back at me. Da! Die, and stay dead. Okay, cool. Because now... Stay away, stay away. I'm very vulnerable right now. I mean, I'm super tough. I'm super tough and in very good condition to fight. Stop it. Are there more? Of course there's more. Why make my life easy? Okay, I see you. You're all the way over there. That's fine. Hi. Waka! And yeah. No. Jerk. Music got a little quieter. Is everything okay now? It might be. Okay, yeah, I think everything might be okay now. Well, good. Good for us. So I'm supposed to go to utility? How do I get to utility? Never mind, I think I figured it out. No, wait, I haven't, because there's all this stuff in the way. Oh. Shoot, I could have ran in here this entire time. Dagnabbit. Well, this isn't a closet at all. I thought utility would be a utility closet. And there's stuff. Yeah, there's stuff. I've heard about stuff. That door's locked. And then there's whatever's over here. Oh, I don't really want to... Okay, that's definitely the way I'm supposed to go. Huh, interesting. The chains are making noises, but they don't actually seem to be moving at all. I mean, at all. Yet, still making little ding 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 sounds. Last stand. Must have been a hell of a fight. Death is coming. That's right! Here I come, boys! Look out! And squishy. Dang it! It's one of them's. One of them's. Alright, is there something I can... Nope. Oh, hi! Woohoo! I actually didn't mean to... Oh, darn it, you're doing that. You're doing that. Darn it. Okay, you know what? I'm backing up. I'm going over here. Come on. Go. Vault! Thank you. Is there something... Oh, shucks! Smashing! 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 And then Owie! Smashy! 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 Well, that didn't work out for me at all. Refreshing Mountain Dew directly into the neck. And do you have an item? No. Okay. You're not still alive, right? Right? Sir? Sir? Sir. Listen to me. Pay attention. Listen. You're not listening. Listen. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I thought you were being very difficult about giving up your item, but it turns out it was just right over there. Sorry about all the smashies. Evacuation. Okay, Dr. Officer Sierra. There he is.
You need to go. You're evacuating all civilians from the dome. Tram departing. Listen, I'll be on the next tram right behind you. I
Just need to die? I just need to die? Is that the only thing that's over here? Tram depot entrance. Okay, so I guess I did that just for that audio recording. Alright. That was it. Be sure that... Okay. Alright. Guess I'm going down. Is this gonna be more poopy water? Oh no. Not at all. Yeah. Dead bodies. I'm actually quite used to seeing that. You okay? You okay, dude? Dude, are you okay? Sir? Whatever. Why is everybody gooed up in spiders? Spider whatevers. Alright, is that their food? Or are they being transformed into more gooey people? Look for the fallen walkway. Okay. Leaves! Oh no. Okay, I thought I heard something. Well, now I am hearing something. Yep. Dagnabbit, of course. Moving to this. Shucks. What are you? You're, credits. Okay. I see you. Can I just grab you from this far and, like, throw you off the side? Is that you are too big to be doing something like that. Except, can I pick this up and then... Wait, you have to be in front of the thing. I want you to walk back this way, and then I can... Dagnabbit, I think you saw me. No, shoot. Oh, yes, that. No, you need a... Oh, darn it. Ow. Yeah. Come on. Ow. No fair. I got sucker punched by the other thing. Yeah, it's fun. Oh, shoot. Shoot! Oh, darn it. And I'm out. Darn it. Oh, I'm out. Okay. I got a lot of gooey sounds. Alright, how far back am I? Hi, black hole sun. Won't you come? Oh, good. Thank goodness. Alright, so... Elias is best boy, not gonna lie. Elias? Is he the guy who's, telling me where to go and what to do? Alright. I need to pick you up and I need to shoot you from far. Dagnabbit, you're supposed to go into... Dagnabbit. It's because you're so big. That's what this is, isn't it? It's because you're such a big boy. Oh my goodness, now they're all after me. They're all after me now. Oh boy, alright. Oh, shoot. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, shoot. And I'm dead again. Oh, what's happening? Oh, my word. Oh, what? Ow, 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 ow. My jaw! I need that for... Oh, darn it. Rats. Alright. I'm trying to throw people into that big... saw... whatever thing. Or big... spiky... whatever... thing. But the one guy is too fat. He's too fat. But I want to do it to him because he's so fat. Okay, so I'm assuming I have to, like, get right up in on his business. Right up in his business. Honestly, I would like to... No! Yay! That's what I was trying to do. Alright, boy, come on. Come on, come on, big boy. Come on, sailor. Oh, boy. Yeah. Alright, come on, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Just believe in yourself. There you go. Nope, 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 nope. It's doing the tentacles. It's doing the tentacle things. Ow. Oh, already? How will I ever play the spoons again? Shoot, now I have to do the thing where I knock the guy into the thing again, and it didn't work out the first couple of times I did it, and it worked out that time, but I don't know if I will be able to repeat the process. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Okay. Oh, a health injector. Well, I mean, honestly, I'd rather have that. Alright. I get to be able to do this. Oh, I hope. Into the, yay. And oh my word, oh, excuse me, sir, can I, how about, woo! Oh darn it, that didn't work out at all. How about, what the? Oh, that's what happened. He transmogrified on me! Oh, I got him right in the groin. That had to hurt. Oh dear. Woohoo! Oh, what the? Oh, okay. All right. Yay. What? Oh, bumkiss. Bumkiss. I say to you, bumkiss. Bumkiss, sir. Bumkiss. Bumkiss. No. Bumkiss? I was coming over to stomp on you, specifically so this type of thing wouldn't happen. Oh, it's that thing. Okay. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, he's right there? Okay. Can I... Oh, come on. No, I don't have enough juice. I need juice. Great, there's two of them. Could I mean, I could throw them in there as well. Do I have juice? Dang it! Okay. Do I have juice yet? No, dang it. This game is fantastic on the PS5. Honestly, on the TV, I can't tell it's running at a smooth near 30 frames per second. It's so constant with ray tracing on, of course. Karnavaki, I've been told that it runs a little bit better on the PS5. I'm playing on PC, but I gotta tell you, I've been having a time trying to get this game to run, well, smoothly. And even right now, I mean, it's running much better than it has been in the past. But even right now, it's still an issue. It's still having a problem. And get in there! I didn't know that would happen. That was... Ew. How can I make it happen again? Hey buddy, have you seen the movie Fargo? Have you seen Fargo? Here's just a refresher of what happens. Here it comes, Baby! Yes, it's just like the Blade movie. Oh. Alright, now I'm ready for my other vampire functions. Let's see, and the game is a must-to play with ray tracing, I think. The difference is night and day on the PS5, and I bet on PC as well. Well, you know, Karnavaki, we talk about this all the time on this channel, which is they tend to prioritize particular formats over others when it comes to certain games, and I think it has everything to do with sales. So they definitely wanted this to be the best game they could on... Hey, just a minute, I'm talking to somebody. They definitely wanted this to be the best game they possibly could on all three formats, but I'm sure they have a marketing analytics department that says, we are more likely going to sell the most of this game on this platform. So this is the priority. We have to make sure it works the best on this platform, and I think that's the PS5. I'm talking to Kanavaki! Sir, I will be... You know what? I'm backing up, because I don't think you're going to shut up if I'm just over there on that box. Okay. So, they play tested on the PS5 the most. They tested it on the PS5 the most. PS5 is the best version of this game so far. But even the PS5 has problems. I mean, when I started this game on Friday, it had all the stuttering, all the frame rate issues, everything. And I'm running this on a 3070 graphics card. I should not be having these types of problems. But I just went, give them the weekend. Give them 48 hours to try and patch it out. They released the patch. It's running better, but I still had to dumb my graphics down to oh, it doesn't show it on this. I still had to dumb my graphics down to medium, and thankfully somebody in my chat was like, get off DirectX 12 and go to DirectX 11, because that's one of the other problems. So for the simple fact, oh, well, that's a surprise. I heard the complete opposite from most people I know who played it on the PS5. I play it on 4K TV as well. Well, I'm playing it on a 4K monitor, which is one of the reasons why I'm noticing a lot of these problems. Thank goodness it didn't automatically come on with HDR on, because that totally doesn't work on Twitch, unfortunately. But like I said, it's working fine now. I had to dumb all the settings down. Well, you might have heard the exact opposite when it comes to PS5. Maybe I think that might be during the initial launch. Like the day one, I heard it was running better on PS5 than it was PC. But specifically because of DirectX 11 versus DirectX 12. People are telling me that DirectX 12 is having a big problem with its shaders, and that's actually something that's wrong with the other game that launched last week, the Marvel Midnight Suns. People are complaining about the same thing with stuttering and frame rate issues, and it has everything to do with DirectX 12. So maybe it's not even the problem or the fault of the games, but that decoder, that codec. The TV is 120 Hz, not the typical 60. Well, that doesn't really do much other than up the resolution and up the delay between frames, depending on what company your TV is from. The PS5 version is not running on DX12. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the reason why it was running a little bit better on the PS5. After the patch, maybe the PC version is running better. I don't know. I haven't researched that. I'm just thankful that the game is looking good and running. When I was playing this game on Friday, I played it for just 4 hours on Friday, I had to dump the resolution down to 1920 by 1080. Like, dump all the settings down to medium, remove, bump it down to 30 frames a second, and it looked like a PlayStation 2 or 3 game. It was not good, but it was the only way I could get a somewhat smooth frame rate without massive stuttering and something that looked halfway decent on Twitch as well. So, whatever the patch did, it seems to have corrected a lot of the issues, or at least the main issues. But this still needs work. They still need to fix a lot of these problems. And, experimental is pretty new still. A lot of games are having issues with it. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and blame more DX12 than I will the games. But I will say this. I think this is where the main problem with this game is coming up from. We all know, well, for the most part, everybody knows that this game was developed and made by the original creator, or one of the original creators of Dead Space, which is why this game feels so much like Dead Space. I mean, it's wearing it on its sleeve. This is an unofficial Dead Space 3, just with a new frosting color coating on top. But it's Dead Space 3, or Dead Space 4. He probably started development of this game before, or right when they announced they were going to do a remake of Dead Space, the original, which comes out next month. So I bet they were committed to the release date of last week. And there were probably people within the company going, this isn't ready yet. We're playing this on PS5. We're playing this on PC. There are frame rate issues. There's stuttering. There's all these things. But the company or whoever makes those decisions at the corporation that put up the money for this game was like, we cannot delay this game to after Dead Space Remake comes out because it's gonna eat our lunch because everybody's just gonna go ahead and play that, and we can't have it too close to the release of Dead Space because there is a risk that people will go, oh, Dead Space comes out on January 1st and Callisto Protocol comes out a week before, and I'll just wait for Dead Space because I've never played Callisto Protocol. That's a brand new franchise. I know Dead Space. I'm familiar with Dead Space. I'll just wait. It's what happened. Well, it's not the exact same thing. It's apples to oranges, but it's like, I don't know if you were alive or you were cognitive when the Sega Dreamcast came out in 1999. Well, that system sold very, very poorly. And one of the reasons why, when they asked people, like, why aren't you going to go get a Dreamcast? A lot of people said, like, well, the PlayStation 2 comes out in just a few months. I'm just going to save my money and I'm going to get the PlayStation 2 because I love PlayStation so much. That's what they were worried about with the Callisto Protocol. They're like, people know Dead Space. People love Dead Space. I love Dead Space. I'm like, we can't risk them skipping our game to play Dead Space. We need to give our game a wide enough berth from Dead Space so people will buy it. And if there's problems with it, we'll just patch it later. But the issue with that is people like me and other day one adopters and players play the game day one without that patch and go, this is unacceptable. This is horrible. How many returns, Steam refunds, did this game get day one because they put out not a broken game, because the game was functional, but a crippled game? I mean, rocking the hard place, they had to make a call, but I don't know if they made the right call. Let's see. Well, not all is lost. Dead Space Remake will probably learn from this and prepare better for January 2023. Well, also, I will admit that I think the team behind Dead Space is better than this team. I mean, say what you want about EA. EA knows how to make a video game. Their teams are pretty good. So, and they're already working on a pre-existing property. And they don't have to completely make everything from scratch. The storyline, the characters, and a lot of that stuff is already made. Their chances are they're actually already using assets from the original Dead Space. Not texture-wise, but chances are, like, some of the code and things like that are going to make it into the remake. So, again, they didn't have to do 100% amount of work that a lot of other video game companies, when they're making something from the ground up, have to do. They maybe only had to do 85 to maybe 80% of the work. So that does save them time. It saves them money. It gives them an opportunity to work out some of the kinks. So I imagine that Dead Space is going to turn out better than this. Let's see here. It's EA. It's not going to learn anything. I'm not pessimistic. I've been happy with all DS games. You mean Dead Space games. I love Dead Space 1 and 2. In fact, Kanabaki, I just replayed on this channel Dead Space 1 and 2 for the first time in like 10 years. They're still great. Controls took me some getting used to, because I was like, oh yeah, like the reload button is completely different than, oh, run is LB? Oh, that's I forgot all about that. But they're still good games. Dead Space 3, I'm one of those people who I did not really like Dead Space 3. I barely remember Dead Space 3. But when I was playing Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, it was like, I remember this part, I remember this scene, I remember this scene, I forgot a lot of other stuff, but there were moments that stuck with me in Dead Space 1 and 2. Nothing stuck with me in Dead Space 3. The only thing that stuck with me is something I didn't see, and that was, it was a co-op game. I was by myself because I didn't have any friends. But I learned that there were scenes that you would only see if you were playing co-op with a buddy. That's what I remember clearly more than anything else about Dead Space 3. That there was content that I didn't get because I was playing the game single player. Bullcrap. I proclaim bullcrap. I'm not happy with it. It's either going to be even worse. Heck, I mean, look at 2042. Oh, it's either going to be even worse. Look at 2042. It's not being pessimistic. It's knowing who you buy from, and buying from EA nowadays is like buying a defective product. It's not pessimism. It's just a pattern that exists, and patterns usually have more believability than what the devs say. Sound like typically EA buys to me. LOL. Probably from reading to me media. That's I just lost all hope in EA after 2042, and then throwing out half of their staff. Well, 2042 is that? Are you referring to Battlefield 2042? DS1 and 2 were great. I didn't play 2. Oh, yeah, you didn't play Dead Space 3? You ain't missing much. There are big YouTube videos about like what went wrong with Dead Space 3. Just watch those, because the game that came out was not the game they intended to make, and that's one. It's the reason why the franchise died after Dead Space 3. Don't ask questions, just consume product and get excited for the next product. I love Red Letter Media, Quasimondo. I love Red Letter Media. So I don't have any bad bias against EA. Dude, it's not just Dead Space. It's all their franchises. I don't play these multiplayer, so I don't care about them. However, whatever they are doing with DS is great. Well, I mean, that's my point. So yeah, you're right. There are certain EA franchises which they've completely dropped the ball on. But I have a little bit more faith in EA's single-player experiences than I do their multiplayer experiences, especially franchises and sequels. I have a lot of faith when it comes to Dead Space, because this is one that they're not getting this out to, line up with a movie's release, a la Star Wars Battlefront or anything like that. It's not a franchise where they have to put out one every single year. Madden. It's not something where they're getting a lot of microtransactions or money coming from online sales. Not Call of Duty, but Battlefield or something like that. So there is no monetary, financial reasons that they have to get Dead Space out as fast as they can They have to rush it. They have to meet it by this deadline, etc., etc., etc. I mean, it's coming out in January, which is odd. I mean, great games have come out in January, but it's not trying to make it to the Christmas rush or anything like that. It's coming out after Christmas. So maybe they were looking at, say, like the success of Elden Ring last year, because Elden Ring came out in February, which is normally where a lot of like movies and video games just dump their garbage. But Elden Ring came out into gangbusters. So maybe EA was just like, hey, let's try and make the best game that we possibly can, and we're going to put it out just at the beginning of the year because that's just when there's nothing else is coming out and not any real competition, and this isn't going to be a Christmas title. I mean, Mom and Dad ain't picking this up for little Billy underneath the tree, so there's no pressure on exactly when we release it. Let's just put it out at a time when we think is like halfway decent, and again, we don't have to rush it. We can make sure everything seems to be fine, and the creators, the developers, say it's going to be ready, and this isn't going to be our big franchise game of the year. Again, Battlefield or anything like that. This is probably going to sell well, but it's not going to do gangbusters. So again, it's not something we have to prioritize. It's just one of our games that comes out amongst other games in the year. Hopefully it does well. Hopefully we'll make a profit off of it, but it doesn't need to make all the money in the world. Our company isn't going to sink if it doesn't sell well. And when you're a game like that, the pressure from the studio or from the developer, EA, is felt at the development studio level, where they're like, let's make this game, let's get it ready, let's put it out. But again, the company isn't riding on this. We just have to make a good game. Let's see here. I didn't play, so I don't have any bad bias. Dude, it's just Dead Space and all their... It's not just Dead Space, it's all their franchises. I don't play these multiplayers, so I don't care about them. They don't get microtransactions. You're forgetting DS3. Well, no, I'm specifically referring to the Dead Space remake that's coming out. That one is not going to have microtransactions, if the developers are to be believed. Dead Space 3 had microtransactions. Dead Space 2 had microtransactions. Supposedly, this remake of Dead Space 1 will have none of that. They don't get microtransactions for game. I didn't play DS3, and it's because I think it wasn't on Steam, but only on Origin. Yeah. There's no reason to get Origin. I play mostly on Steam, so yeah, I'm the same way. That's where I bought Dead Space 1 and 2. Although I think it is on Steam, because I think they keep on trying to get me to buy it, and I keep saying no. However, I do have an Origin account in Epic, but I log into those accounts like once a year. I log into Epic once a night because that's where my Fortnite and my Rocket League accounts are at. Half of the game was microtransactions. Also, Western devs really, really hated the release of Elden Ring. They won't cut off anything from them. You can check out some of what a lot of Western devs said about Elden Ring around the release. It was hated with developers, but loved with the people mainly because it was actually a good game for the start. Well, I mean, Quasimodo, it wasn't hated by all Western developers. It was hated by Western developers who have made their open world games in a particular way, and that is Ubisoft. I hate the fact that they were like this, but Guerrilla Games, who make the Horizon Forbidden West series, and I love Horizon. I love the Horizon series. But all of the open world games which just fill the screen with HUD information, mini-maps, locations of your precious items, and it was just like, here's the stuff. Here's a map that shows all the stuff. And then Elden Ring came out and did what their Dark Souls games are, what Bloodborne did. I mean, they weren't actually doing anything new. They just had never done an open world game before. It was just, welcome to new From Software game. Here's your character. Who is he? Where are you from? What are you doing? What's going on? Shut up. Go out. Go out and hit stuff. What does attack? This does attack. This does backstep. This does dodge. This does magic. And that's all we're telling you. We're just telling you what the buttons do. We're telling you the mechanics, what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go. Shut up and play your game. We're not going to tell you. And that is one of the genius things about From Software. From Software here's a weird comparison. Elden Ring is just like the original Super Mario Brothers for the NES. When you hit start on Super Mario Brothers, what information does it tell you when you start the game? It says World 1-1, and then boop, there you are. What do? Okay, hit this button. Boop, you jump. Okay, what if I hit this button? Nothing. What if I hit this button? Oh, he moves forward. All right, let me try and go to the left. Oh, wait, I can't go to the left. Let me try going to the right. Oh, everything starts to move. Oh, here's this little mushroom guy. Well, should I try and go over and give him a hug? Oh my goodness, I'm dead. Okay, well, let me try something else. Well, I know this button just jumps, so I'll jump over him. Okay. Oh, I accidentally didn't jump over him. I landed on him. Oh, wait, now he's dead. Oh, so I can kill things by... It doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't tell you anything. It's a simple philosophy, which is trial and error, and you are going to die. But dying is how you learn to play the game. We're not going to take anything away from you at the very beginning of the game for you dying. You don't have anything that's worth keeping. Die, figure out the mechanics, because the best lesson in Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls is failure. It's a great way to remember something. It's something I've said for years, which is there's 3 types of people in the world. People who can be told, don't touch the stove, it's hot. People who have to see somebody touch the stove and go, yeah! I'm like, oh, I get it. Fire hot. Now I know. Thank you, person with 3rd-degree burns. I appreciate your sacrifice, so now that I learn. And then there's the third person, which they have to be the ones to touch the stove. It's the only way they're going to learn. And Elden Ring is developed in basically the entire core mechanics of the gameplay are based around those people. How do you learn? Failure. How do I know I can't beat that guy? Because I die 16 times to him. And then I just go, all right, I walk away. Oh my goodness. Relates to hated developers, but love to the people. Honestly, better comparison is it was more like Demon Souls on the PS3. Well, I'm not making a direct comparison of Elden Ring to Demon Souls because they're all from Software games. They're all made by the same creator, Miyazaki. It's all from the same developer. So that's like comparing like Dead Space isn't like, or the Callisto Protocol isn't like Dead Space, or Dead Space isn't like this game. It's like Resident Evil 4. Like, well, yeah, because Dead Space was directly inspired by Resident Evil 4. So you can't really compare those. I'm trying to use more an abstract comparison of the philosophy of the gameplay, not the gameplay itself. Let's see, they didn't give away anything about the game, really, and just let the player figure out everything for themselves. Yeah, that's how all From Software games are. From Software games are, I think, one of the best comparisons or philosophies or explanation of From Software games was From Software games are basically you as a player wake up in a strange world and it's like you just have amnesia. You exist in this world, but you have forgotten everything. And like a person suffering from amnesia, like Jason Bourne, you have to go out and figure out what's going on, what happened here. Even though you are from this world, even though you were born here and you've lived here, you have to relearn everything. And there's nobody who's just going to sit you down and tell you what's going on, because everybody's running for their lives from the monsters who are trying to kill you. No, you have to figure this out from item descriptions and just stuff that's happening in the world, which is great. I mean, or another example would be, these are movies from like the 80s and the 90s where there would be like some 12-year-old kid, I'm like, I just want an adventure, Mom, and all of a sudden he goes to sleep or falls down a well, and all of a sudden he wakes up in a magical dreamland of like fairies and monsters and blah blah blah, and he's got like, what's going on? I'm like, oh well, the Dark Knight Kingdom of Block is going after the elven worlds of Wuhuhuahe, and then there's usually somebody explaining the entire story to him. But it's, once again, you just dropped into a world and just figure it out. There's monsters everywhere. Good luck. I'm gonna go hide in this bush over here, because that's what smart people in this world do. It's a Japanese game, that's why. With this not holding hands, it's Japanese philosophy. And Nintendo Japanese philosophy is that they don't cater to anyone. They develop games that they enjoy. Well, at least Japanese gaming philosophy. Well, Nintendo has lost that long ago, honestly. at least with Pokemon. Well, I mean, one of the big problems that Japanese developers are having right now is the fact that Western audiences are outselling the Japanese market substantially. So Japanese developers, to make as much money as they can, are now making games that cater more to a Western audience. But that's also one of the reasons why Elden Ring did so well and was so refreshing with a lot of gamers. It's because From Software, even though the Dark Souls franchise has sold well, and Bloodborne is still my game of the generation, I absolutely adore Bloodborne, they sell well, but they don't sell like Call of Duty. They're not selling like God of War or anything like that. So a lot of the Japanese developers are like, we want those numbers. We want that amount of money that they're getting. How are they getting those numbers? Let's just make games like the Western developers do. But From Software, like, beautiful, beautiful business model, which is just, we don't have to make all the money. We just need to make enough money to keep the lights on. Let's just make sure we earn back every cent or yen that we spent. Let's try and get a little bit of profit so we can expand and hire some new people. But we don't need to make all the money in the world. We just need to make enough. And they make the games that they want to play because the market for those games is large enough that they will always make their money back and then some and make a tiny little profit. Again, they keep the lights on. I mean, Kojima is the only rare unicorn in this scenario, because Kojima is probably the only creator in all of video game development right now who can go, I'm going to make whatever I want, whatever bat crazy game with the strangest video game mechanics that I can think of, and he puts it out and it sells gangbusters. Because Kojima is such a genius that he can make games that I bought Death Stranding, I started playing Death Stranding, and I go, it's a walking simulator. Is this going to get fun? What's going on? And then within a couple of hours, I'm like, I am getting these packages to the top of that cliff. By hell or high water, I was invested. And then that's when it clicked. I'm like, oh my goodness, Kojima made Mail, Amazon Delivery Man, the game, one of the most enthralling, desperately nerve-wracking experiences I've had in forever. The man is a genius. This is incredible. Let's see here. At least I have never played a Pokemon game ever. Zelda was able to innovate and change. Fire Emblem was not. The real fan base hated it, and Mario was able to change. The only game that was never able to adapt to a newer market is Pokemon due to the nostalgia bias of Nintendo consumers and Pokemon consumers. Sword and Shield was hated but still sold millions of copies. Also, when you check out Scarlet and Violet, those games have zero passion really in them. It just seems like the most popular anime game tropes. Throw them a skin. I wish Bloodborne didn't look so choppy. Its frame rate should be constant. Well, I mean, Kanavaki, they have been asking for years for a PC port of Bloodborne, and every year, like in 3 days, is the Game Awards, and I can't tell you how many. I'm gonna be one of them. Just like every year during E3 or the Game Awards, and I'm like, all right, is this when you're going to announce the PC port of Bloodborne? Is this when you're going to announce Bloodborne 2? Is this when you're going to announce anything Bloodborne related? And it never happens. And every year we're like, all right, I'll wait another 6 months. Maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll get that Bloodborne port or something. But you know what? Choppy as well. Frame rate. These are all legitimate. But it was made. Shoot, when did Bloodborne come out? All right, hold on a second. I can just getting up always hurts. Okay, Bloodborne. Where is it? There it is. Bloodborne. Get my copy. Bloodborne came out 2015, so it's a 7, almost 8-year-old game. So I can forgive it for being as choppy with the frame rates and blah blah blah. It's also actually a good reason not to be so hard on the Callisto Protocol with its day one problems, because this game, I mean, it didn't have as bad frame rate and chop issues, but I remember when this game came out, in like when you died, which happened a lot, it took like a minute, 5 minutes to load the world back up. They fixed that problem in later patches, but oh my goodness, this was a big problem when it came out. As much as I like Kojima, I really hate the dude at the same time. Not just because his main series, Metal Gear Solid, is basically just a ripoff of an old manga called Spriggan. Hey, I saw Spriggan, or I didn't read it, I saw the movie. Spriggan's cool. Quite a lot is directly taken from the story and just copy and pasted, but the games are still good. I love them. From Software is so successful, it never has to think about a remake. 2015, yeah. Well, I mean, Kojima is... I'm not going to say it's a ripoff of Spriggan, because it's more fair to say it's a ripoff of a lot of different stuff. He definitely took a lot of influences probably from Spriggan. I can only imagine Kojima is familiar with Spriggan. But he loves Western films. Like, there's a lot of Escape from New York, Kurt Russell in Metal Gear Solid. There's a lot of there's like James Bond inspirations in Metal Gear Solid. So he wears his inspirations on his sleeve. And if you follow the man on Twitter, he's constantly tweeting about, I just saw this movie, or I just bought the Criterion collection of this movie. The man loves and adores film. So there are a lot of inspirations from multiple different things in Metal Gear Solid. It's not a direct ripoff of Spriggan, but chances are Spriggan is an influence. And let's be honest, how much did Spriggan rip off from something else that we're just not familiar with? Is not just that to this day, Bloodborne runs really bad on the base PS4 model. A lot of times it drops to singular frames. It's been a while since I've played Bloodborne, so I might just not be remembering that. It goes back to what I said when I played the Final Fantasy VII remake, which was the game looks absolutely gorgeous, all the wonderful 3D models and blah blah blah. But what really is incredible about the Final Fantasy VII Remake is the Final Fantasy Remake is what we who played Final Fantasy VII when it came out as children remember that game looking like. We know that's not what the game looks like, but when we think back to it and just think back to like how amazing and incredible an experience it was, how much we loved the characters, how much the music impacted us, how much like some of us cried during, well, certain parts, which I'm not going to spoil it. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about, but just in case. I mean, it was an emotional gaming experience for a lot of us when we played Final Fantasy VII for the first time. And as the years went on and we think back to what Final Fantasy VII was like, it has slowly morphed into like, what does modern video games look like? And it kind of just evolves in our own subconscious to the point where we look back at it and we think of it like what the Final Fantasy VII Remake looked like. So when we played the Final Fantasy VII Remake, or when we saw the Final Fantasy VII Remake, we're like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what Final Fantasy VII looked like in my dreams, which is where Final Fantasy lives now, in my heart, in my head. This is everything that I remember it being. It's the graphics have met the glory that is our memory of the experience of playing Final Fantasy VII. It's absolutely incredible. So Bloodborne, went on a little tangent there, is kind of the same way for me, which is Bloodborne was such an experience that any technical issues it has, I don't remember those. That is not what pops into my head when I think about Bloodborne. I think about the first time I walked into Yharnam and saw that courtyard. It's the first time that you see Kos, or when you go to the Academy, or just any of those amazing set pieces, or the first time that you see, I'm forgetting their names, but the basically other outer dimensional creatures that exist in the world in the game for the entirety of the your playthrough. but you can only see them once you have enough insight or go mad enough, and all of a sudden, there they are, and you're just like, what is that? And then you put 2 and 2 together and realize this is where I keep on dying, and there was something invisible that was killing me, and you make the connection that are like, oh my goodness, that's the thing. That's what's been killing me. It's been here the whole time. That's what I remember when I think back about Bloodborne. I don't think about frame rates. I don't think about anything like that. I just think about those amazing video game experiences. I'm just ticked that Spring gets called a ripoff of Metal Gear a lot of times. Also, the movie is only one arc that is very separate from the rest of the story. Well, Quasimodo, that's also, like, I complain about John Carter, the Disney movie that came out a couple of years ago that everybody said was like a ripoff of Star Wars and a bunch of other sci-fi movies, but that's only ignorance because John Carter was written like back in the 1920s or like by F.N. Burroughs. Oh no, John Burroughs. Burroughs, the same guy who wrote Tarzan. He wrote John Carter well before any of these other sci-fi movies or properties ripped him off. But since people are more familiar with those properties and not John Carter, they said John Carter was a ripoff. No, John Carter was the original. The other ones are ripoffs, but the other ones were made of movies before, and it's a whole thing. I hate FF7 Remake so much, honestly. I just want to have a normal turn-based JRPG and not a mindless, easy, with generic action RPG that is made to just make people go, wow, so cool. Quasi, you can get those experiences on your cell phone. You want turn-based? Mobile games. This is where you're going to find your turn-based games these days, because those are simplistic enough. We don't need them on consoles anymore. You can get those on your phone. Do you have a FSC count on for this game? Just curious how erratic it is. I do not, Kanabaki. I actually don't know how to put that on. Let's see. Then again, Final Fantasy is a dead series to me since it's not Final Fantasy anymore. It's just another ARPG. I'll admit, Quasi, I hadn't played a Final Fantasy game for years before Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. But, admittedly, Final Fantasy VII Remake I enjoyed enough that I was like, you know what, maybe I'll give one of these newer Final Fantasies a go. But I haven't played a Final Fantasy game since, admittedly, Final Fantasy X, because I hated, what was it, Wacko Ball, whatever. I hated the minigame in that. I hated the minigame where it was the underwater soccer tournament thing. I absolutely hated that thing. It's then again, Final Fantasy. There's quite a lot of video games on YouTube from Bloodborne. I don't have my PS4 anymore because I bricked a while back, so I don't do the FSC counting anymore. I didn't speak to you. Was wondering if you have an FSC counter on for this game, CP. CP is a bad way to short the name. The game doesn't have the FSC counter built in. You have to download it and turn it on. Brock, get NVIDIA GeForce Experience. You can turn it on there. I do have it, actually. Surprise, you don't have that even though you have a 30 series. No, I actually do. I just normally don't turn on the GeForce Experience while I'm playing. But I could. Let's see here. Let's see here. No. You know what? Let me do some